And not that anyone needed reminding, but even with all these developments that we continue to report to you from Israel, the centerpiece of this entire crisis continues to be the hostage crisis. Over 220 hostages remain in Hamas captivity. 4 were released. 1 was reportedly rescued by the IDF, a young corporal of the Israeli Defense Forces. But 220, including American nationals and the nationals of 24 other countries, continue to be hostages somewhere in the Gaza Strip. Now, the U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, speaking to the press yesterday, talked about how this hostage crisis continues to be the biggest priority. And it is because there is a huge amount of pressure on the United States domestically on this issue as well.
I have repeatedly made clear to Israel's leaders that protecting civilians in Gaza is both a moral responsibility and a strategic imperative. So let me outline the department's 4 key lines of effort. First, we'll continue to protect American forces and citizens in the region. We're coordinating closely with Israel to help secure the release of every man, woman, and child seized by Hamas, including American citizens. And finally, we swiftly strengthen our force posture in the region to deter any state or non-state actor from escalating this crisis beyond Gaza.
The Hamas terror attack on October the 7th has had ripple effects in different parts of the world. Now, the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI in the United States, says what the Hamas did has now resulted or triggered perhaps the biggest single terror threat domestically in the United States as well since 9/11.
The horrific terrorist attacks committed by Hamas against innocent people in Israel a few weeks ago, we've been working around the clock to support our partners there and to protect Americans here at home. We assess that the actions of Hamas and its allies will serve as an inspiration, the likes of which we haven't seen since ISIS launched its so-called caliphate several years ago. In just the past few weeks, multiple foreign terrorist organizations have called for attacks against Americans and the West. Al-Qaeda issued its most specific call to attack the United States in the last 5 years. ISIS urged its followers to target Jewish communities in the United States and Europe. Hezbollah has publicly expressed its support for Hamas and threatened to attack U.S. interests in the Middle East. And we've seen an increase in attacks on U.S. military bases overseas carried out by militia groups backed by Iran.